Hello there, Big Benedict here. We're playing God of War Ascension on Titan difficulty, and this is my No Upgrade Run Plus. We're currently on Chapter 9 of 30. It is entitled Ice Caverns. So at the beginning here, with these armored satyrs, all you need to do is just turtle up. So just block, and nothing will happen to you. Do you remember in the previous video, near the end I think it was, I mentioned that there was a toll for riding this snake, which is that you get mandatory damage no matter what you do? Well, it's coming up in a moment. Notice I have full health, and once we get a little bit further up, you're gonna see that you're gonna see that some of my health gets taken off for no reason. Happens right up here actually. So if you would take a look here, it's kind of ridiculous. Happens right up here. Now again, full health bar. I'm blocking. Nothing is breaking my guard. Look. Mandatory damage. Great job. Great job, guys. Now you might say to me, Bick, what if I have less than the amount of health that the game takes away from me because this game is fucking glitched? Well, you just die. I'm not kidding. I was on it once with less health, like hardly any health, and for some reason, you just take mandatory damage for just participating in the game, and it just kills you instantly. So, last time I did the walkthrough, that happened, and this time, since I've played this chapter so many times, I know all about that nonsense, but. Anyway, I mean, can you believe that? It's like the dumbest fucking thing. Okay, so this, and I know I don't have to say this, but this is a chapter redux video. So, we are, if at any other point in the walkthrough, you hear me refer to my having a javelin for this boss that we're gonna fight, just disregard that because I do have the shield. So always have the shield. There's no other reason to have the other weapons unless you just like them. So all you have to do is just block over here. If you want to participate, go ahead. But when you get to the grip points, you'll notice that you see the green grip point that's coming up where we're going to jump up to the left, how it's sparkling there. When it has this circle around it, that means that you can latch onto it. So only then can you latch onto it if you're close enough. So you don't need to needlessly try and risk getting hit or anything like that. So this will be a no damage video versus the boss as well. The boss is not that bad, but it's a long affair, so it's not always easy to be well enough to not get damaged. But look at this. I mean, I can't think of another reason to turtle than that. That's the thing that I don't like about this game. There's a lot of instances where the camera is pulled too far back. I can't see. I can legally drive without glasses. I can see well enough. I can't see. It's pulled back too far. I can't see. But for the boss, the fire element is the way to go. I'll show you how to deal with the first Hades Cerberus Mongrel coming up in the next video, but I know I'll probably say this at the end of the video, but the ice blades are the way to go on the boss at the beginning of the next video. There are, I think, 1, 2, 3, there's about 3 Cerberus Mongrels. One of them can be ringed out. I think the next one you fight after the one in the next video, he can be ringed out or wrung out. But this boss is a little awkward because Kratos hits in a horizontal manner for the most part. The game has adapted or adjusted it so that when you're under the Manticore, when he's in the air, Kratos will aim up to hit it, but it's not always accurate. A lot of times you'll kind of think that you're in the right spot underneath him and you don't aim up, so it's not your fault. You just have to be in the right way, and if you don't even want to bother and just you want to wait for him to drop, that's perfectly fine too. Phase 2 of this boss shouldn't be too bad for you, because the next time that you fight this particular enemy, you're going to be in a smaller room that's much more awkward than this huge place you have to fight this enemy, where you can spirit horror to your heart's content. But I always find it interesting when Kratos interacts with other people. In this case, I don't think he even talks to the person. Now, in the past, I've used the javelin on this boss, but the javelin on this difficulty, if you want to throw it, it's just not going to deal him much damage, especially with how well the shield is going to help on the boss for the beginning of the next video. Just always have the shield. I learned that the hard way. So here's phase 1 of the boss. As I mentioned, if you want to, you can just wait for him to drop, but he does a streak across the screen, and based on the caprice of how this works, the random nature of it, he is going to either fly across the screen, try to hit you with his tail if you're underneath him, so be careful about that, or just use that flamethrower blast that he does. When he drops, though, you need to be well clear of him until he stops moving, because when he drops, there is a splash area around his whole body that if you're anywhere near it when he's in motion, sort of like the Kraken at the end of the game when it hits you, tries to chomp at you, you have to wait till it stops completely or you're going to take damage. So you can do aerial square or air T if you want to. Those moves don't damage him too much though, but with level 1 blades, you can't really expect too much anyway. But I am trying to use the shield plume here. Very, very safe move to do. His spike tail hit, if you block it, it breaks your guard, but you can perfect block it if you want to, but it's really difficult to get the timing for it. I play this guy a lot and I still don't have the timing for that, but it's not really worth it, to be honest, because the better thing to do would just be to evade or combat roll evade, and then go in for your square T, or wait for his flamethrower, and then you can use the fire dump on him, the rage dump, and you get perfect iframes through him. But he's going to keep going backwards until you get up into the air with him, and you can't just when you're beneath him, you can't just press the triangle button and make contact. It doesn't make contact. It's very aggravating. So what you're seeing me do is when I'm under him, I hold the triangle button, not long enough so that I get launched up with him, but just long enough so that it makes contact with him. That's what I'm doing, and then he will he should drop pretty soon. Square times 4 is really safe on this boss. I'm sorry, it's really effective for building rage, but it has a lot of recovery to it. So the shield plume versus the standard plume, I'm pretty sure it has at least 3 to 5 times the recovery frames that the shield plume has. That is, The standard plume has 3 to 5 times as many recovery frames as the shield plume. So the shield plume is extremely safe, and I would recommend using it at all times. There's still room for the plume in this game, but it definitely gets supplanted by that. So once the transition happens, you can do a square ×4 without any worries. Combat roll evade is much more safe on this boss than regular evading. So what you want to do is build your rage all the way up. He summoned his lackeys really early on in this fight. You want to grab the lackeys and then throw them away from him. There's no point of throwing them into him. The collision properties are pretty low, like the hit damage you do. So it's much safer to separate them from the boss so that you can hit them, build up your combo if you don't have it built up. Build up your rage, and then once that's built up, you can continually spam grab them, and that will preserve your rage. Also, after that point, you can just spirit whore, which is to do that, and you can choose which one you want. I like to have the ice if I'm a little far away from him because it has a little bit of reach to it. But I also keep the fire on so that I can, if I need to, activate the rage and go right through his fire. And that's something I'm going to be doing on him next time when we fight him. But this is a huge place to fight this enemy, and I can't underscore how small the next environment is. Okay, he has 2 sets of lackeys here. The next encounter with him, I think there's 2 as well, but you can also get just 1 if you're quick enough. The lackeys will do a flamethrower attack, but it can be blocked. But if you're spam grabbing them, there should be no reason that they ever get to attack, because you can cancel out their attack anyway with your spam grabbing. See how it has a bit of reach? It's not too much, but it's a little bit. And then he should be just about finishing up here. TST is pretty good, but it has a lot of recovery to it. Did you see what I did there? We did the fire right through his fire. We did our rage attack, and it lasts just long enough to give you all the iframes that you need. You'll never get hit. If he's spouting fire and then you click in the L3 and R3, you'll never get hit. But that has been the boss. There are some scenes after this, which I will leave in the video. I don't put cutscenes in my videos, but if they are scenes that when you press select it doesn't say skip cinematic, then they're left in the walkthrough, because technically to me they're not cutscenes. So that's what these are up ahead. They're not cutscenes. I don't know what they are, but I do know that dragging these levers is the dullest thing they could have ever thought about. Fortunately, you don't do it too much in the game. So Manticore boss fight, how'd you like him? I think phase 1 is a little annoying, quite honestly, but I do love the spaciousness of that fight. If only it worked a little bit better about hitting upwards. We had that problem, I think, in the first video. Remember when we were fighting one of the infected hands of the Hecatoncheires, and he was up above us. We were trying to hit him from down below, and we were hitting just straight in front of us sometimes, and we needed to hit up. So that's a little too bad, I guess. The aerial attacks with square and triangle, you can do those at your own risk, but you're really vulnerable when you're up there. There's no air evade in this game either, so you really have to watch your step. Okay, so that has been Ice Caverns. I will see you in the 10th video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you were able to do the boss fine. Sorry about having to take I'm not going to say sorry for them, but that's kind of ridiculous, having to take mandatory damage there. I don't know. Definitely needed to be fixed. I will see you in the next video. Please take care.